me back in the studio!
The views expressed on the following broadcasts do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
Get ready to sing, Bruce.
Ooh, copy. Get it, Bruce.
Golly, you're cute this morning. Sweeter than a morning snack. Guess who would like some brew? Oh, and make that coffee black.
Black. Welcome, everybody, to the great reality in the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show with Tony J.
Good morning, y'all.
Bruce H.
Hey.
And drinking black coffee, me, the Monty Man.
Who needs sugar and cream? Splashed on some root this morning.
I'm snazzy as a Cadillac. I'm up, so grab your cup and let's have coffee. Lots of coffee. Shots of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Oh, yeah. Make that coffee black. Truth be known, I actually like a little creamer in my
I was
coffee.
about to say, mine has cream in it, too.
Yeah, sugar-free French vanilla by Carnation.
I love French.
I'm going to need lots of coffee today. I will say
Lots of
that.
coffee. So the little bumper music at the very beginning, right before Marsha's little
That's Marcia?
deal. Yeah.
Oh, it does not
she
sound
does,
like her at all.
She does the disclaimer at the beginning. Is a song called "Enemies" by Shine Down. Shine Down is the name of the group, and we chose that song because the topic this week is I don't like you. I don't like you.
Well, I don't like you either.
I don't like you either.
Well, that's okay. When he texted it to me, I'm like, did I make you mad?
I know. What? So last week's topic was true friendship. What is it? This week's topic is I don't like you. True enemies. Who are they? What's going on with that? So we're going to be talking about that. Is it okay to not like somebody? We'll answer that question here in a minute. Or is that a big no-no? You have to like everybody? But can I just say that Jesus not only loves you, he likes you. Think about that.
Amen.
Think
Word.
about that. That is awesome. That is awesome stuff. But we're not talking about Jesus as much today as we're going to talk about, I don't like you.
I can go every time I hear it. I don't know why.
I just don't like you. But
You would think we'd be well versed on that.
Yes.
Right?
We will talk a little
Lord.
bit about. We will talk about God
I'm a
today.
little scared.
We always talk about God on the show. And we're going to close out today's show with Todd Agnew's a song called "My Jesus." Very, very powerful, convicting song about how we treat people that maybe we just don't like.
Interesting.
So anyway, Todd Agnew was the keynote performer at the Arizona Hope Fest.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah,
He was good.
Todd,
I
yeah.
watched your video.
So I got to interview Todd, and also with about 24 other people that I interviewed. It's going to be about a 2-hour show that we're going to produce.
Nice.
Here next week. It'll be up, and I just want to say a special thank you to Roger McDermott, who sponsored our travels and our ability to go out there to Prescott, Arizona. As well as to David and Jaylene Long, who are the co-founders of Hope Fest. What an amazing job they have done. Every service organization you could think of was represented. A lot of members of the faith community. It is the boldest, most direct public / recovery event promoting the power of God and testimony of what God has done in people's lives in the nation. And it's on the Courthouse Square Plaza.
Interesting.
On the steps.
And how do we listen to this?
You'll be able to go to take12radio.com. And you'll be able to, when it goes out, you'll know it'll be up on Facebook. So you can click on the Facebook one and play it as well. Or you can go to our website.
What's it going to be? The title going to be?
It's gonna be Hope Fest 2016.
Okay, Hope Fest.
Yeah, and I'll get you a copy of it on CD, Bruce, so you can listen to it as well.
Yeah, that what you're saying turns my clock.
Yeah, it turns the clock.
So is it gonna be like a movie or a slideshow or live footage or
the
both?
YouTube version is going to have tons of pictures. On it. So if you watch it on YouTube, you'll listen to the audio and have all sorts of photographs of the Monty Man interviewing all these different folks. Everything's from Bikers for Jesus all the way to little old ladies from the local Nazarene church.
Aw, I love little old ladies.
To people from Celebrate Recovery,
Nice.
to people from the executive director of Teen Challenge Arizona, Jaylene and David Long, and Todd Agnew.
Well, I saw your pictures. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah,
a lot of
venues. Yeah, thousands.
Venues, is that the right word?
Yeah, thousands of people. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's just an amazing thing. There's a lot of recovery events and concerts that go on across the country, but nothing quite as up to par as far as being just exactly open at who God is and how He works in the lives of not just people that live with addiction issues, but people that are homeless, people that have experienced abortion and are beating themselves up over it, and the love and the compassion that's being offered to these women and to their boyfriends and husbands, saying, you know what, God loves you anyway, and it's okay, and we can move on from here, from things like that to veterans who have been overlooked. That are there giving themselves away to people in different forms of service, helping other people. It's just amazing.
This recovery stuff has been watered down so much.
Exactly.
Yep.
And, one day we'll have to talk, do we have a choice or not?
About what?
About our addiction. And is there something, stronger that's pushing us?
Driven.
Are we
Oh,
driven,
gotcha. Yeah.
by something that, and what's the solution to that?
Yeah.
So anyway, be looking forward to that. Everybody will know when that comes up. Listen, the easiest way to find out about that stuff, though, is to subscribe to our Podomatic page. So go to take12radio.com and click on Follow Me on Podomatic, and it'll show you how to do that. So we're not going to forget this week. Hold on.
I know I thought about it when I was listening to the show. I was like, we forgot. But it was such a great show last week.
I was so glad.
It was.
I only got a few lines, but I'm a lousy reader.
So before we close out in Todd Agnew's song at the show today, Tony's going to share with you how to listen to the show, and Bruce is going to share with you how to get a hold of us on the show. But so anyway, there's that. There was a very, very, it's just an amazing trip. Roger took me to out of Africa, the park in outside of Sedona.
I've been there.
Oh my gosh,
it's amazing.
It is the largest African theme park in the country. They've got over 200 acres. And they take care of the animals. They do medical treatment. They never make the animals do anything they don't want to do. I mean, it is.
It's like you walk into their world.
Oh yeah,
exactly, instantly.
Yeah. And you ride in these Jeep thingies, and you go out to the Serengeti, and and I kissed a giraffe.
I saw that.
Would you like to know something amazing?
Yeah,
I lived there for 20 years, and I've never been there.
What?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What is it?
It's
15 years now or something, like 15 or 20 years. I don't think it's been there.
No, it hasn't been there. Actually, when I went with Kylie, Kylie's dad and I were still together, and his parents were snowbirds, so they went down there, for 6 months. So they just kind of started. I'm sure it's a lot bigger now, but even in the draft thing, they didn't have that roof over it like they do now. It was just a walk over little bridge thing. So it's been about 15 years because Kylie was. Yeah, about that. And
it is the only place in the world where they do tiger splash.
Yes.
And that's where they have this huge pool. And they swim with the white Bengal tiger, and they play with them and so forth. Now, something I did not know. Lions hate water.
Yep.
Tigers love water. Isn't that trip?
You've never been to the Mirage in Vegas, then?
No, I haven't.
See, because that's where the white tigers are.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that show anymore, do they?
Well, they have them in them.
Oh,
the long hallway where the glass where you can see.
But I got to feed the tiger.
Isn't that cool?
It's on my Facebook page, on Take 12 Radio's Facebook page. I got to feed the tiger, with a long stick.
Yeah, a very long stick. I was so excited for you when I saw you there. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to love it.
Those tigers and lions have a home. See, the ones that are in places like the Mirage,
Right.
I don't really, even though they're kept care of well, they don't have the homeness.
The free range. I mean,
Exactly.
these animals have acres and acres and acres to roam. I mean, it's just amazing. Something I learned about one of the longhorn cattle they don't call them cattle, but it's from the Serengeti. It makes a longhorn look like a miniature. This thing is so used. But inside the horns, and this isn't the case with all horned animals, but with this, there's a spiral going on, and it's filled with blood.
What?
And it circulates, and inside their horns is where they circulate their heat. And when they get overheated, instead of sweating, it goes out the tips of the horns. Isn't that a trip?
Get out of here.
Yeah, it goes out the tips of the horns.
That's like a true hothead right there.
So their horns are a huge part
of
their. It's all regulating their temperature and everything. Something about the hyena that I didn't know. Its ability to snap the neck of a lion. It's got the strongest. How do I word it? The way the jaw works and the way they can break things of any living creature, the hyena does. And hyenas and lions are mortal enemies.
Really? I didn't know that part.
And it was funny because if you watch The Lion King, and the hyenas go, they want one of the other hyenas to say the name Mufasa over and over again and say it again, say it again, say Mufasa, say it again.
Oh yeah,
this is the name of the lion. And they laugh louder and louder and louder every time they say the name Mufasa. Well, when hyenas laugh, they're about ready to kill.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, when they grunt and they go like that, they're happy. But when they laugh, you don't want to be around because that's dinner time.
Yeah, they're pack animals.
Yeah.
Too.
So when in the cartoon, in Lion King, when they said Mufasa, their mortal enemy, they start laughing because they're getting ready. They're getting excited about taking him out. And so that's, Disney studies these things and they put them into animation.
That's interesting.
But it's amazing stuff.
Learn something new every day.
But that was my favorite, was seeing the hyenas. They were so cool looking.
They're cute though.
Yeah.
They are cute.
Yeah, but you don't want to be
No.
So when the hyenas are laughing, it's that I don't like you. Huh?
It's an I don't like you. Yeah.
See, people always say you laugh before you
you better believe
laugh
it.
before you leap. I'm scared of all of us now.
So if you want to see some of those pictures, you're going to be able to see them on the Facebook. I mean, on Facebook, and then the Hope Fest you'll see on the concert thing on the YouTube when we put that up. Anyway, there that is there. Roger, thank you again so much. We just can't do these things without sponsors, and he right now is our number one sponsor. He's just a great guy. And for those of you who are able to and have donated on another scale, we appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Please don't stop.
Right.
Thank you very, very much. Met Marco Ronzi there and his sponsor.
He's so nice.
Bob. And they hung out with us, and everybody wore their Take 12 T-shirts, and we all represented. Represented. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we're going to take our first break here from Serene Scene Magazine, come back to a little bit of fun trivia. Trivia this week is the 4 most hated things of 2016.
Oh, wow.
The 4 most hated things. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Serene Scene Magazine is published for individuals who are seeking knowledge, support, and hope. Addiction is a systemic problem, and the content of Serene Scene reflects the complexity of putting addiction into remission, with special attention given to the loved ones of the addict. And now, here's Andrew Martin, Editor-in-Chief for Serene Scene.
I'm Andrew Martin, creator of Serene Scene Magazine. The whole purpose of Serene Scene Magazine is to help people help themselves to a long-term quality lifestyle of recovery. Please have a look at some of the technological features that it has, the audio files, and the video files that are incorporated into the publication as well. I hope you have fun with it, and I hope there's something there for you.
Serene Scene,
a magazine for long-term healthy lifestyles of recovery. Visit www.serenescenemagazine.com and subscribe today.
And now,
Drum roll.
it's the Quiz of the Week.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Take 12 Radio's Quiz of the Week, sponsored by that recovery magazine, the 12-Step Gazette. Visit their website at 12stepgazette.com. Now, here's the Muncie Man.
Yes, indeedy. Blah, 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 blah. All right. The four most hated things of 2016, according to cracked.com.
Cracked.
Yeah, so they're in the form of trivia questions. And the first one is the most hated profession in the world. The most hated profession in the world. And this is multiple choice. Is it dog catcher, law enforcement officer, or dentist?
Oh, dentist. It has to be dentist.
What do you think, Bruce?
Law enforcement.
Bruce, you are incorrect. And Tony, you're correct.
I know. I used to hate the dentist.
Yeah.
I love my dentist now. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
in fact, the highest suicide rate in
Dentists hate dentists?
Yeah, people hate
Dentistry?
the dentist. Dentists have the highest
people, yeah.
has the highest suicide rate of any medical profession.
Really?
Dentist. Yes.
I'd like to change my answer.
Sorry.
No,
Can't
I
do that.
thought you were saying, they didn't like their profession.
No, the most hated.
Okay.
People hate them the most. Yeah. So
People
it's-
committed
I don't
su-
speak English very well.
all right. Well, you can redeem yourself.
People committed
Okay.
suicide before going to the dentist or the
No,
dentist?
no. The dentists.
Dentists.
Dentists have the highest suicide rate in the medical profession. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Okay,
Well,
I'm changing my answer. Now,
Nobody likes
listen.
them. Nobody likes them. They
Dentist.
all hate them.
You know, I had a huge phobia, but I love my dentist now. He's amazing.
That's nice.
Yes.
Happy teeth. Happy teeth. All right.
What,
You can't change.
would you like me to tell you about my teeth? Go ahead.
Maybe. That's probably an hour show.
Maybe.
All right. This is the most hated, the second most hated thing of 2016 has to do with things that happen on the highway.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So this is the most hated highway engagements, things that you engage on the highway.
Okay.
Is it A, getting pulled over by police or state troopers? B, motorcycle lane splitting. You know what that is?
I have no idea.
When a motorcycle goes in and out of the lanes on the freeway,
Okay.
and does in between cars. Mm-hmm. Everybody's bumper to bumper, and they're zipping in between cars. Okay, or is it C, people that drive the speed limit or under in the fast lane?
I'd say C because Walter complains about that all the time.
Okay,
I'm going to go with that toe, even though I'm thinking about motorcycles.
you're going with C. Well, you both would be. You're really close. It ran a close second.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, but it is motorcycle lane splitting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's kind of irritating.
Yeah.
We're stuck in traffic, and you're using your ability to just go. But I can't say if I didn't have a
Well,
motorcycle.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The third most hated thing of 2016 has to do with the internet. Not surprising.
Okay, I get a pass on this.
No, you don't. Is it A, other people texting while driving? B, people taking selfies in public? Or C, internet porn? What do people hate the most about the internet?
Well, we know it's not porn.
Oh boy, that's a tough
I'd say
one.
the selfie thing. Yeah. Even though I love me some selfies.
Well, I'm going to go with A myself.
Other people texting while driving? Mm-hmm. Well, you are actually correct. It is people taking selfies in public.
It's a like.
Yeah, Bruce, sorry. People hate seeing people do that.
Yeah.
They absolutely hate it.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must be a good guy.
You are a good guy. You're amazing.
And here's your bonus. This one has to do, this is the fourth most hated thing in 2016, according to crack.com. It has to do with snack food. Snack food. Is it A, the shrinkage of Hostess cupcakes? The size going down. B, the inflation of the price of candy bars, or C, potato chip bags that are 30% chips and 70% air?
Oh, good God!
I want to say D, all of them. That should be an answer.
It's between C and D.
Yeah.
I mean B and C on this.
That's true. It is not the shrinkage of Hostess cupcakes.
All of them are.
I'm going to go with the middle one. I'm going to go with B just because.
Yeah, why not? We'll go with
the
B.
inflation of the price of candy bars.
That irritates me.
It's stupid.
Yeah, they shrunk too, and the price went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you were both incorrect. It's actually potato chip bags that are 30% chips and 70%
Why
air.
not?
Now, supposedly there's a reason for that, and I can't remember what it is right now.
There is a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it actually makes your chips better as far as like freshness goes.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest reason, Bruce, you're absolutely correct. It's about making money.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Everything's about money.
Yes, indeed. It is.
Hey.
What?
That was cool.
I know. Money.
All right. That does it for Take 12 Trivia for this week. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right, but check this out. I thought this was kind of cute. This is a song by a lady named Kate. Kate.
Hey there, this is the Monty Man from Take 12 Recovery Radio.
No, it's not. This is this is a promo, and then we'll hear the song, the little sound bite by Kate. So hold on. Here we go again.
With vital information regarding a different kind of substance abuse and addiction treatment conference. The Evolution of Addiction Treatment Conference, February 2nd through the 5th, 2017, at the beautiful Sheraton Gateway Los Angeles Airport Hotel. Well, the current field of substance abuse and addiction treatment has been evolving for almost 8 decades now. During this time, we have seen many important developments, as well as many, failed experiments. Isn't it time to step back and conduct a professional inventory of where we have been, where we are now, and where we are heading? Well, the Evolution of Addiction Treatment Conference provides a forum that encourages professional dialogues of controversial issues, showcases innovative and creative treatment approaches, and offers an overview of the field and its future. Serene Connections will provide 27.5 continuing education hours and or professional development hours at this addiction treatment conference for the following disciplines: addiction counselors, alcohol and drug educators, certified eating disorder specialists, employee assistance professionals, interventionists, licensed educational psychologists, licensed mental health counselors, marriage and family therapists, nurses, psychologists, and social workers. To register for the 2017 conference, visit us at www.theevolutionofaddictiontreatmentconference.com. And we'll see you February 2nd through the 5th, 2017 at the Sheraton Gateway Los Angeles Airport Hotel for a very different kind of substance abuse and addiction treatment conference. The Evolution of Addiction Treatment Conference.
Yes, indeedy. And by the way, I will be there along with Marcia, and we'll have our booth there, and I'll be helping to MC that event, along with Dave Fleming, our newest staff member at the Adult and Teen Challenge Center. He's the director of our intensive outpatient program out there, and Roger McDermott will be there as well. So you get to meet all of us. Yay! Yep, you do. All right, now here's a little soundbite by Kate.
I have something to confess. It may get me in a mess. I must get it off my chest. When you know I'm home alone and I still don't pick up my phone, it's because I don't like you.
There it is. That's why. It's because I don't like you.
I need that as my ringtone.
I can't say Kate's last name on the air because it involves a word that
you do.
I'm not permitted to say.
Right? Oh.
What'd you say?
I need that as my ringtone.
You need that as your ringtone? All right. So I'm giving a handout to Tony Bruce, but we're not going to read this yet. This is going to be part of the solution to this issue. we're going to hold off on that in just a minute. For those of you that may have a big book with you or next to you as you listen to this, you want to turn to page 66 and 67 and put your little finger in there or a bookmark or something because we're going to be referring to that. But have you ever met a person? Let me ask you. Have you ever met a person that doesn't like you? They just don't like you. They just don't like you. They don't like you.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Bruce?
Oh yeah.
Ever had somebody in your life that just didn't like you? Never. Everybody loves Bruce.
Yeah. Yes. I have that.
Yeah. There are people that and sometimes there are people that we don't like, right?
Exactly.
Isn't there people that we have known over the years? Bruce goes, "No, I love everybody." There's people. I'm gonna give you mine. Charles Bronson, the actor, Charles Bronson.
Oh,
he played. He had a series. He was on a motorcycle. It was a series years ago. Also played in a movie called The Mechanic. I just don't like him.
That was the way it was when I met you. No.
And he's telling the truth.
Yeah,
I'm moving.
Monty,
well, wait a minute. Hold that thought, because I want you to tell that story. But now, Charles Bronson, it's an indirect thing. I don't know the man. He's probably a very nice man, all that. I have no idea. But I look at him, and I don't like him. And I'm not judged. Well, I guess I am judged. I don't know why. And I won't watch his movies. I just don't like him. And I have no clue why. Now, is that real damaging between his relationship with me and mine with him? No, because we don't have one. But something is fueling that, and I'm not sure what it is. I mean, we can maybe talk about that. But more importantly, what about people that are in our lives, or people that are going to be in our lives, or people that have been in our lives? Okay, Bruce, go ahead and share your experience.
Well, today I understand what it was all about, but I didn't like it because people listened to you. I thought you was arrogant, and all you were doing were trying to tell people about this solution you'd found.
Oh, wow.
And here I am in a recovery program, and I just shut you off immediately because I thought you was one arrogant person.
And we're talking in the rooms of our 12-step fellowship when we first met.
Oh, yeah, I did not like you.
Yeah.
And then when I finally found this thing and, and it was given to me and I took a look at myself, then I realized that I had put something on Monty. And a lot of what I didn't like about Monty is he talked about God.
Okay.
Yeah, see, and I had some real problems.
Yeah.
That's why it was necessary for me to do the steps around God.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I could never see you two being, not liking each other.
Well, I didn't know that. I remember I saw him at it when Group 1 met over by the freeway, and he sat next to me. Remember that cowboy hat kind of thing he used to wear? And he was very, very nice to me and jovial like he is, and all that stuff. But one day we were back in the little tiny itty bitty room where we had the coffee, where they make the coffee, and he just let me have it with both barrels. I mean, he just yelling at me, and I'm like, "What?" I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you don't know.
That is true.
That people don't like you. Sometimes that may be better if you don't know. But I was kind of stunned.
Yeah, I can't come up with a real reason other than the fact that, my perception and the God issue.
Yeah.
Well, they do say when people speak the truth, the ones who hate it are the ones who need it the most.
Monty, I think I bought into that thing that don't talk about God because you'll chase the newcomer out. And I used that to justify my feelings towards you.
Wow. Yeah. Sure.
I still can't see it.
I always like Bruce.
Yeah. It's just looking at you two. And
I don't anymore. But,
yeah. Things do change over the years.
That was a trip. Okay.
No, but isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
I would never even have seen that one coming.
I wouldn't give him the time of day. Matter of fact, I told all of his friends. Like I could mention who they are, the people that I have run around with today. that, hey, you know what? Cut that guy loose.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll get you in trouble.
Wow.
Wait, it's something I found out something interesting here a couple of weeks ago when I was talking to my buddy Mike McNear, who lives in Dallas now. He was saying how proud he was of how we've raised Colin and Cameron and so forth, and Colin going to college. And he says, it's funny because we go to these NA and AA campouts, and everybody said, man, that guy is so overprotective of his children. He's going to mess his children up so bad. They were talking about me.
Oh, people say that about me, too.
Because I bring my kids to the camp out, Well, I'm not going to let my 7-year-old go down to the river by himself and go fishing without an adult. Well, that was overprotective to them, And Marcia goes, well, you were a little bit. Yeah. But they had this perception, and they really thought I was going to screw my kids up. And Mike says, you know what? And look at your kids now. I guess we were wrong.
Yeah.
You don't know sometimes what people are thinking.
Exactly. Oh, God, I know that one. Yeah.
You just don't know. So there was a guy, we affectionately called him Big Ed.
Big Ed.
And when I first came into the rooms here in Oregon,
real potty mouth.
Yeah, I met Big Ed. Now Big Ed was kind of a big guy, bald head, and when I met him, he was so stressed most of the time that he would break out in red splotches all over his head.
Wow.
He was a Vietnam vet, I think, and he had some really horrific experiences. So he was very bitter, very angry, and I remember he'd walk through the room, and I thought to myself, you know what? That guy will never be my friend. I mean, I wasn't making a declaration that I'm never going to try. It's just that I thought I can tell he'll never like me. Never in a million years. Fast forward several years, watching what God had done in his life. His potty mouth got cleaned up a lot. I won't say completely.
Probably kind of.
But he softened
Yeah.
over the years. And he and I became very close. And I ended up over at his trailer at least once a week having iced tea, talking about UFOs and Bible movies and, I mean, everything under the sun.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
I didn't like that individual either. And then I started to find out the service work he did.
Right.
And people didn't know about it.
Yeah, because he never boasted about it.
Yeah.
So you don't know. You better watch out who you say you hate.
Yep.
Because you may end up being one of their closest friends, and they may end up helping you. You just don't know.
Yeah, I became close to him too, and I don't know that I would say I hated him, but I don't think I liked him very much.
Yeah. So what about you, Tony?
Oh, past, present, future? Which one? Which one? Well, I can say, okay, the situation at this establishment, I won't say where.
Right.
I had the one of I didn't know that somebody didn't like me. And the talk, just everybody else knew everything. And I'm just sitting there like not knowing anything. And it came to a head one day, well, months later. And, me finding out things little by little and finally figuring out why people, stop talking to me, stop texting me, just change their attitudes towards me.
Just
and I'm
flipped,
just like,
huh?
Like, and some still to this day, I never did anything to this person or people who started following this one person. I never said anything bad about these people at all. I spoke the truth because it had to do with the function of the place. And I'm not going to let somebody walk all over me.
Right.
You can just kiss my booty before I let that happen, and I had a valid point and reason.
We'll give you her address out in a minute.
Yeah,
kiss
exactly.
Her booty
19. And I'm just like, I got really angry at first. I think I made the situation worse by how angry and I got and snapping out at it in person and social media and everything. And it was just literally that went on for about 4 months. But just recently, within the last couple of months, I'm like, what am I going to do? Be angry all the time and just hate everybody? And I hate going to this place. Or am I going to stop and just let things die down, let people just realize their own stuff? And that's the hardest thing to do because I'm sitting here trying to defend myself against this one evil person that I don't even know. She's just miserable, plain and simple. You know, even talk to my sponsor. She's just miserable, and she sees me doing the right thing, and so she wants everybody else to hate me. And so there's nothing I can do. I have to let these people judge.
She just likes to drag people along with her, right?
One big drama.
Yeah, we know people like that.
So after I kind of like died down and let it settle, I kind of see people change after a while. It took a while too. I was very lonely.
When a person's like that, we don't want to go to them when they're miserable and make amends for what we did.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
See,
no.
but the response isn't that the idea isn't that they're miserable. Mm-hmm. It's that you're going there to clean up your side of the street.
Sure.
And I don't expect any of these people involved that got involved with the wrong information to ever make amends. But I will say, you know, I have made amends for the actions I've done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I can do. I have to make an amends without expectations, because expectations makes you feel every time. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. There's people I saw sides of that were my friends for years before this people came, and I'm just like, I was hurt over it. And I am.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry. I didn't mean to take a whole
Yeah,
bunch.
no.
That was
I'm glad you did.
biggest thing, and it's still hard.
So you know how the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous refers to when we see something in somebody else that disturbs us, that it is because there's something in us that's disturbed, et cetera, et cetera. I think a lot of people sometimes will misunderstand that and they'll take that to the literal extreme, to where if you see, you know, a commercial on TV of starving children and it disturbs you, that means something's wrong with you. That's not what it's talking about. If you see somebody homeless and you ache and it disturbs you that they're being mistreated, that's not what it's talking about. That's good disturbance. That's the disturbance that the Spirit of God brings forth in you to prompt you to pray and prompt you to perhaps help or be a part of the solution. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about stuff that is the foundation to resentments.
Yeah.
And the kind of stuff that's destructive. We're not talking about convictions that are helpful.
Yeah.
So don't misunderstand that. A lot of times people take things out of the Big Book out of context and say, this is what it always means.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
Well, that's why when you passed this out, I was like, my sponsor had me read that over and over and over again about that situation. I love that part.
So, Bruce, you were going to say, because before the show you said, well, I can't wait to share my take on this or something. Do you have some stuff you want to talk about as far as people that don't like us?
Yeah.
We don't like?
When it comes to this subject, I think that I really fall short. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm lost. You know, and I think it's because I've convinced myself so much that, okay, I like this person. I'm the kind of person that doesn't know it's all right to have misfeelings. Yet I'm still in that black and white process with
So
this.
is it okay to not be fond of someone?
Yes, it is. And I think I'm finding that out for the first time in my life. And here I am, you know, in the last stages of my life.
Right.
You know, to see that it's okay. I learned that through this thing with my last resentment, when I could make an amends and clean up my side of the street. I could forgive to do that properly. You know what I mean? But I don't have to open the door to be abused.
Exactly. Perfectly put.
Yeah.
Perfectly put.
Yeah.
And but that doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to look at this fellow with a new pair of eyes and have some sort of compassion and love. But I don't have to put myself in an abusive situation anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
See,
Right.
both things can be happening.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought it was either this way or that way.
Right. If you didn't like somebody, that meant you had a resentment. And that isn't necessarily true.
No.
At
No,
all.
It's not true.
Yeah.
See, because I learned to forgive. But I don't want to open that door. I think it would be very significant thing to my spiritual fitness and to his.
Yeah.
I don't think
Right.
that I'm the man to be working with him.
Right.
I think I fall short.
Yeah.
for that to happen. And I think that if I'm going to put him first, I have to do this.
I'm thinking of a guy that I attempted to work with, who asked me to work with him some time ago, and I had to say the same thing to him. I said, it's a very good possibility I may not be the right person to work with you.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of reasons. One was he wouldn't follow directions when he got to a certain point in the step work. The other one was I was taking my cues from the big book when it talks about, if you're working with somebody and they're not willing to do this thing, there's other people in line.
Exactly.
Basically. And you don't want to waste your time with someone that is wasting your time.
Yeah, we have to be real careful with that.
Yeah. But it's not, you have to be careful that it's not an attack on their character.
Exactly. It's such a fine line, and it's like eggshelled fine line too.
You may not be, and the reason they may be shortchanging themselves and not doing the work may have something to do with personality, and they may actually do it with somebody else.
Yeah.
And you should be more than willing to point them in the direction of somebody else that could possibly help them.
Exactly.
And I'm not really fond of this gentleman. He's not my friend. He's my brother in the Lord.
Yeah.
But I probably not going to go bowling with him or to the movies or golfing or any of that stuff. It's just not that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Do I dislike him? I dislike his behaviors, but I really don't dislike him. But I don't enjoy being around him.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean I have a resentment. I'm not thinking of him every day and how I wish, the sky would fall on him and stuff. I mean, I love the man, but I'm just not his friend.
There's a fella in the 12-step program that I think is disturbed by me the way I was disturbed by you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think he feels the same way about me as I felt about you.
Interesting.
You see, I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
And I think he would really like to sock me. You know what I mean? He really would. And the only reason he doesn't is because of my condition. I'm serious.
Your health condition?
Oh, yeah. I think he is disturbed by me that much.
Right.
Right. So what does a man like me do in a case like that? Well, I pray for him, and I have to learn to look at him with this new set of eyes we're talking about, is that, me too, brother.
And that makes
I understand.
Yeah, that makes total sense too, because now
I can love him.
Yeah, no, and that's what I do too, because this person, we have similar backgrounds. Hers is a lot worse, but I can see where the illness has come in to create this cabal, if that's even a word.
Right.
But
cabal, I like it. I like it. It's a word now.
It is now. But I invited her, to the rooms, and and it's just, I think people want to get better but don't want to do the work, and then get angry at the people who are happy because they have gone through the work and faced their demons, and it's a scary place. And I think the people who get upset about it are the people who are not ready to do their steps, but I think they are ready, they're just scared to. I mean, I was like that a long time.
Yeah, fear.
But I can kind of see where the resentment started, because I hated seeing people happy in early recovery. I'm like, you're nuts. There's no reason to be this happy because you're not drinking or drugging. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can, break it down about. And that's what I just keep reminding myself daily, is maybe she's still not ready. I'm not saying she's drinking or drugging. I'm not saying anything like that at all. So, let me cut any rumors about that. It's just, I don't know. I just pray one day she gets it.
Here's an example that many of us fall into, and then we'll look at this out of the big book. But what about somebody who you're accountable to in an employment situation, right? And because I've experienced this, where I just don't get along with the man, and it's not that I can really pinpoint anything. It's iron sharpens iron. It's just sandpaper. When I see him, I just my skin crawls, the whole 9 yards. But when somebody asks, "What do you think of his policy in this and that?" I say, I back it up.
Yeah.
Because he's an authority in my life. I've chosen to work for this particular organization, so I've placed myself under that authority, and I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter what I think of him. I'm backing up this policy or this procedure because he is that authority in my life. I don't have to like him to respect him and respect his position in his office. That can be really hard, especially now, in that experience, I don't see the man much. But some people are working in real close quarters with an employer that when they see him, it's like, I'm hating today, and yet they will stand and have integrity, and they will back their employer. If somebody else is chopping their employer down, they'll back him. And I really respect that.
Yeah.
But that can be really hard.
It's touchy. When
you work alongside somebody that's in authority over you, in a fast food setting, or in a small retail setting, or even in a church setting, right?
Yeah.
And we have to learn to be able to maneuver that stuff and practice emotional sobriety, which simply means you can be okay in your own skin regardless how that other person acts or behaves. And you respect their position. So that's one that's difficult. Again, I probably will never go golfing with the man. Why would I?
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. But that's the way it is. Yeah. That's the way it is.
Sketchy.
Yeah, it's just, and you have to, and because if you don't learn how to deal with these things, they will eat you up.
Oh yeah.
They will take you down.
You have to.
And those guys aren't losing any sleep over.
No, they're not. I always go in because I had a situation like that, and I'm like, work is work, home is home. Just do what you have to do to get through the day, but you don't have. You have to respect the person to the point, but you don't have to kiss their butt either.
Sure.
And I won't do that. I refuse to.
So here is, and you guys know this is my favorite piece out of the entire big book, because this is the piece. Everybody's got an area in there that they attribute to really helping to save their lives. And this to this day really helps to allow me to see people through the eyes of my Creator and not my own. This is, and I titled it Dealing with Difficult People. It's not titled that in the big book. This is in context is really in the area of working a resentment inventory in step 4 in the big book. And this starts at the bottom of page 66 and goes over to 67. It says, this was our course. So when you hear a statement like that, that means you're about to do something. Right? Something is going to develop here, and this is what you do. It says, we realized that the people who wronged us, remember, sometimes we don't like people and they didn't do anything to us. But this is in the case of people that wronged us, were perhaps spiritually sick. So when we hear the word perhaps, it means we're considering the fact that maybe there's more to this than they're just a potato head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something is possibly going on that goes deeper. So we realize that we're perhaps spiritually sick. And then it says, though we did not like their symptoms, and Bill is, he's great here. He's being very compassionate. He's identifying with us. Yeah, I get it. You don't like the symptoms. I don't like the symptoms.
Their actions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't like their actions. And the way they disturbed us. So we're identifying two things. We don't like their symptoms, and we don't like the way we feel when their symptoms bleed all over us. Here's the key. They, like ourselves, were sick too. The playing field has just been leveled.
Exactly.
They, like ourselves. I'm no better, I'm no less. They're no better, they're no less. They're like us. Now, because we can't move on to the rest of this until we realize that the playing field's level. And otherwise, it won't work.
And this is where ego comes. You have to drop your ego to really, really do this.
You do.
This is
right, Bruce? You really do.
You can't be ego-driven.
Yep. You can't be ego-driven. So then it says, this is a prayer directive. It says, we ask God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend. That is a tall order.
It's hard to swallow.
You're learning at this moment to learn to trust God.
Exactly.
You betcha.
And that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, this is this is the very start of learning to do this. You know, I mean, the action going forward to learn to trust him. We ask him. Because, see, we don't have the ability.
Exactly.
Now, listen, this is step 4 stuff, right?
Yes.
So as we continue in our understanding of him, this is part of that as action. And it says we ask God. It didn't say we ask our sponsor. It didn't say we ask the group. It doesn't say we ask our pastor. It says we ask God.
We can talk to those people.
You bet.
But they should be directing us to God.
Exactly.
And here's something interesting. It doesn't say if a person offends. It says when a person offended. We said to ourselves, now this is self-talk here, this is a sick man. Okay, so once again, in all of Bill's wisdom, he repeats himself because he knows we learn by repetition. And here's the question. How can I be helpful to him? Are you serious?
I hated that.
Right.
I still sometimes say that to this day.
Helpful?
Exactly.
Put him before me?
Yeah.
Now, here's
they wronged us, but we have to put him before us.
Here's where I once again was reminded that this wasn't so much about sobriety as being prepared to be a maximum service to God and my fellows. That's what it was about.
Exactly.
So here he says, how can I be helpful to him? Like I said, as soon as I read that, how can I be helpful? I started to get angry.
Yeah.
And then my sponsor said, well, let's just read on. God, another prayer, save me from being angry. And I went, oh. Because see, he didn't let me read this. He read it to me before I actually read it again.
So I didn't
know that. I didn't know that was coming. And I'm like, oh, how appropriate. No, so God help me from being angry, because you know why I'm getting angry? Because what I got to be helpful. And it says, "Thy will be done." And then this is amazing to me, because this is exactly what I wanted to do. It says, "We avoid retaliation or argument."
Oh God,
we wouldn't treat sick people that way. If we do, and here Bill repeats himself, we destroy our chance of being helpful. So what's this about? It's not about me.
No. It's called an altruistic movement.
So people that are offensive to me and how I deal with them isn't about me, it's about them.
That's right. See, that's what's so hard in this program, and that's why we do the work.
Right.
That's why we need God. And it just goes on and on and on and on.
And I just thought about this too. Sorry, Bruce, didn't mean to interrupt. We call this a selfish program because we need to be selfish to get better. But then we have to be selfless in return and treat others like we want to be treated. And I even ask my sponsor to this day periodically when I redo my 4-step, why do I always have to do the work and they do nothing? Because it's not about me. That's what she says. And I swear to God, if you hate your sponsor sometimes, and I say this to her, to anybody, even in the rooms, she's doing her job, he's doing their job.
Yeah, we're in this thing to take a look at ourselves and see our need, and then we think it's selfish to have to go to God, but we're going to God for we can have a relationship with Him and do His work. Yep. See, we're not doing our work anymore. The only thing we change is ourselves.
That's right.
You see what I mean? And that's only with His help. And that's why I get upset.
Yeah.
You know, when people take the credit, look what I've done. I'm not sure if you're running around sober and you're the kind of alcoholic they talk about in that book. Sure.
I know. I think my picture's in there somewhere.
That's a beautiful reading.
Yeah,
it really is. Money.
God must have been talking to me this morning, because everything we're talking about is what I put on my status this morning. That is so weird.
If you recognize that you have this attitude towards another human being, maybe the answer isn't to keep focused on them, but ask God to give you the ability to take a look at yourself. For you can say something like, "Me too.
Me too.
Me too." See,
like ourselves, right there. Yeah. Like ourselves. Like me. If you want to personalize it, put your name in there.
Yep.
Like Monty.
See, we're the one that thinks the guy's arrogant. We're the one that has a resentment. So why are we looking at him?
Yeah, really. Why are we looking at him? We're the ones.
That's why it's on my sponsor. Yeah. Why do I have to do the work?
It is interesting.
And there's situations out there too where, when people, and like with Chris and my first husband, like and that's why I did my last 4-step over, because I kind of scratched the surface first time, but I was really ready to work on it, 6 years later. And even though he did the unthinkable in any way possible, it's not, I have to forgive him or his actions to make it okay, saying, yeah, it's okay if you do that. I have to forgive him so my heart can heal and be cleansed and allow me to help others through that situation and to, make a little bit more room for some God up in my heart,
Forgiveness is about releasing ourselves from the bondage, of something that's controlling us. And it's about emotional sobriety.
Releasing of the bondage of self.
Yeah.
See, it's her anger that's holding her.
Yeah.
Not
the other person's behavior.
Behavior. Not what he did. It's what develops within you. And I love the way you put that.
I do too.
For you could have more room. You know what I mean? Because it's consuming.
And it's true. And after I did it, I didn't feel instant relief, but I can now, daily feel that extra burden's not in there.
Amen.
I know. It is so liberating and so freeing.
I know. Little Tony makes sense sometimes. You guys are like, oh, there's our little move.
And so when you run into somebody that just doesn't like you or you just aren't fond of, and you see them and so forth, doesn't mean you don't feel a little bit of an angst or a little bit of a sting. But the problem isn't the problem. It's how we relate to the problem. So what are you going to do with that? Doesn't mean all that stuff goes away, but how do you approach that? How do you deal with that? How do you walk through it? If you're going to walk through it by yourself, then you're going to walk through it by yourself. And that's a shame.
Kill him with kindness.
That's a shame. If you and God are hooking up on this thing, you've got the one who created you.
Yeah.
Helping you walk through this stuff. And let me just say that when these things happen, if we will stop looking at them as problems and start looking at them as golden opportunities to grow.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
And we hate that too. That too.
But we complain that we're not growing.
Yeah.
And then God gives us an area to help us do that, and then we complain about that.
This is just the surface too, people. I like to let you know that that this is the walk. This is the spiritual growth.
Yeah.
And the reason that we're willing to do this is because something's nipping at our tails. And it's step 1.
Admitting to God,
No, we're powerless.
Powerless. Yeah.
And the end result of that is I'll do it again. And so that's pushing me to go forward. And then later, it turns into something else.
Yeah.
It's just like open-mindedness, you know what I mean? It turns into humility.
Yeah. So the title of the show, I Don't Like You, with the tagline, True Enemies, Who Are They? When you really pull the veneer back of everything, who is really my enemy? Is it you? I don't think so. I think it's me. I think that who I'm fighting against.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about that is I can do something about that.
Exactly.
I can't do much about you, but I can do something about me.
But Monty, you had to learn that it was something. See, that's the process. That's why you need the sponsor. That's why you need somebody to help walk you through this, Yep. Yeah, it's you. It's you. It's you.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Tony, how can people listen to the show?
Well, that's a good question. You can listen and download all of our shows by going to take12radio.com and clicking on the Listen Online button, or subscribe to us on iTunes. You can also follow us on Podomatic and download our app for iOS or Android. Becoming a member of Podomatic is free, and when you become a member of Podomatic, you can comment on the show, click on the like button, and we ask that every time you do, click on the follow button, and that helps with our demographics so we can see who, what, when, and where you're enjoying the show. Okay, probably not who, but anyways, that'd be weird. You can also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Monty Meyer, Meyer, for hundreds of archive shows, which are amazing. All these available, I know, I love that word, amazing. All these available methods are on take12radio.com.
Yes, indeedy. And Bruce,
But rude.
How do they get a hold of us?
I'm telling you, I have the easy one. This is how you would, if you would like to send us an email and tell us what you like or don't like about the show, you can do that by emailing us at take12radio@comcast.net. And we would really like to hear from you.
Really would.
Yep.
Really would.
And we won't hate you.
As a matter of fact, if you'd like to financially help support the show,
Yeah.
nobody here gets paid. It goes to pay the expenses for Take 12 Radio. Just email us that address and let me know, and we'll talk about that. Todd Agnew was the keynote performer at Hope Fest 2016 this year. And his song, My Jesus, really spells out, I know what many of us really desire. And that is how to be more godlike when it comes to other people that we may see on the street that we think, ooh, I don't want to be like them. Thank God I'm not like that guy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Check out this song and then we'll close out the show. This is Todd Agnew, My Jesus.
Jesus, do you follow? Which Jesus do you serve? If Ephesians says to imitate Christ, why do you look so much like the world? 'Cause my Jesus bled and died. He spent his time with thieves and liars. He loved the poor and accosted the arrogant. So which one do you want to be? Blessed are the poor in spirit. Do we pray to be blessed with the wealth of this land? Blessed are they that hunger and thirst for righteousness. Or do we ache for another taste of this world of shifting sand? 'Cause my Jesus bled and died for my sins. He spent his time with thieves and sluts and liars. He loved the poor and accosted the rich. So which one do you want to be? And who is this that you follow? This picture of the American dream. If Jesus was here, would you walk right by on the other side? Or fall down and worship at his holy feet? Holy, pretty blue eyes and curly brown hair and a clear complexion is how you see him as he dies for your sins. But the word says he was battered and scarred. Did you miss that part? Sometimes I doubt we'd recognize him. 'Cause my Jesus bled and died. He spent his time with thieves and the least of these. He loved the poor and accosted the comfortable. So which one do you want to be? 'Cause my Jesus would never be accepted in my church. The blood and dirt on his feet might stain the carpet. but he reaches for the hurting and despises the proud. And I think he preferred Beale Street to the stained glass crowd. And I know that he can't hear me if I cry out loud. I wanna be like my Jesus. I wanna be like my Jesus. I wanna be like my Jesus. Yeah, yeah. I wanna be like my Jesus. Oh, 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 Not a poster child for American prosperity, but like my Jesus. You see, I'm tired of living for success and popularity. I wanna be like my Jesus, but I'm not sure what that means, to be like you, Jesus. 'Cause you said to live like you, to love like you, but then you died. But for me, can I be like you, Jesus? I wanna be like you, Jesus. I wanna be like my Jesus.
Be looking for the interview with Mr. Todd Agnew that I was honored to be able to partake in at Hope Fest. We'll be announcing that here in a very few days. Powerful song, right? Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It made me think, like, really hard think. How am I living in my life? Am I living it like Jesus?
He loved the
would want me
humble
to?
and accosted the proud.
Right?
Yeah, think about it. Yeah. He raises the humble and resists the prideful.
You bet. Which one do you want to be?
See, he said it.
It gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. He reached for the hurting and resists the prideful.
Yeah. And Jesus would never be allowed in my church. His dirt and the blood may stain the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Boy, pastors, lay people, people in ministry, churchgoers, you better think about that really, really hard.
If he loved us while we were yet his enemy, what does that say about the people that we dislike? Do we love them?
Yep.
And can they dislike us? You bet.
And any person can make a song, but it takes a true artist to not only make a song, but touch your heart through the words of that song. And that's what...
Yeah, and that's what I love about some of these artists. Some music will entertain you. Other music will minister to your soul.
Yep.
And that's the stuff I'm about. Yeah. I love that stuff. All right, my friends. Well, we are out of time. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
Thank you, Monty.
Thank you.
You bet you. Hopefully next week, Marv will be with us. if all goes well.
I love Marv.
If all goes well. So keep your fingers crossed. All right, my friends. Until our next broadcast, this is Tony, Bruce, and me, of course. We're wishing God serenity for you.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Oh, yeah, make that coffee black.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.